Hello, thank you for joining me. It's Dr. Ann. Today we are going to tap on physician suicide. So let's just start by massaging the sore spots underneath our collarbones. So I was inspired to do this today because one of the major headlines in the news today was, quote, top ER doc commits suicide. And this is someone who had been suffering while serving in one of the hard-hit areas in New York. And this is something that's happening all the time actually at a higher rate among physicians than the general population. And this is the first time that I've seen it actually as a headline. So even though this is a really heavy topic, I want to take advantage of the opportunity of it being publicized to actually spend some time on it and to give it some attention. So let's all take a deep breath together. And tap all over our chest. Physician suicide. This is not something we talk about. Deep breath. And just a reminder, repeat after me and change the words if you need to. We don't talk about physicians who kill themselves. Every once in a while, we'll notice an article, we'll get an email that talks about how physicians don't tend to reach out for help, but it's a growing problem. Deep breath. Even though, let's move to the eyebrows. Even though physician suicide is not something that's talked about, I'm choosing to talk about it now. Side of the eyes. But it's too intense. It's too private. And sometimes it hits too close to home. Deep breath. Under the eyes. I am choosing to acknowledge that as a physician, I struggle. Deep breath. Under the nose. Even though I'm a physician and I have all of the resources available to me. Under the mouth. I've succeeded in so many areas. I get depressed. Deep breath. Tapping on the chest. I struggle. Deep breath. I'm open to the possibility that it's safe for me to admit that sometimes I feel like it's harder to live than it would be to die. Deep breath. Sometimes the voice inside me that's speaking for the part of me that struggles the most feels like it would be easier and less painful if I was no longer alive. I'm open to the possibility that it's safe for that voice to be heard. Deep breath. Let's tap right where the ribs jut out. but it's not safe to talk about. Side of the body. What if I told someone I was struggling and they took away my freedom? Deep breath. What if I told someone that it was really difficult to go on living and they took my freedom away? What if they took my ability to practice away? What if they put me on a legal hold? Deep breath. What if this affected my ability to take care of myself? This might make things even more difficult for me. Deep breath. Side of the thumb. Feeling suicidal is not something that's easy for a physician to talk about. Pointer finger. Feeling suicidal is not something easy for me to talk about. Deep breath. And I'm open to the possibility that having the courage to admit this, at least to myself, is a good first step. Deep breath. Middle finger. I'm curious if I might feel better if I could at least confide in myself that I'm really struggling. Deep breath. I'm struggling. Some days I would rather check out. Deep breath. Some days, some weeks, maybe even some months, I would rather just be asleep. I would rather not face the day. Deep breath. I would rather not face all of these overwhelming feelings, all of the ways that I'm suffering. Deep breath. And I'm open to the possibility that admitting this to myself, and maybe even admitting it to someone else, might help, might ease the suffering that I'm feeling, might ease the despair that I'm experiencing. Deep breath. Top of the head. And even though I've been trained to be strong, I've had so many role models that taught me, that modeled for me, that when I'm feeling overwhelmed, that I keep it to myself, that I suffer in silence, and I just do what I can until I can't go on anymore. Deep breath. Eyebrows. I'm open to the possibility that even though this model of suffering in silence until I can't deal anymore is what I was taught, and in many ways how I've been operating, side of the eye, I'm open to the possibility that I don't have to do things this way anymore. Deep breath. Under the eyes, and I'm open to the possibility that there is a way through this. Even if I've never really believed that, even if I've never felt that, even if it's felt and feels so overwhelming that the possibility that there is relief just feels so remote. I'm open to the possibility that maybe, just maybe, there is a possibility for me to feel better, to feel less despair, and maybe, just maybe, to even feel and experience some hope. I'm curious if I'm able to take a chance at reaching out to get some support, to at least have someone by my side as I have the courage to explore the possibility that I can feel joy again, that I can feel pleasure again, even if it's just in, brief moments or small amounts to start with. Tap on the chest. Maybe just feeling moments of relief, moments of relative pleasure, moments of relative joy is enough to get me on a different track, on a better track. So even though part of me says, no, there's too much, and it's just too unlikely, and it's too hard, and it's too overwhelming, I'm choosing to dig really deep and support the part of me, no matter how deep it is, no matter how timid and quiet that voice is, and that part of me that is yearning to feel pleasure and joy and relief. And I'm choosing to reach out to that part of me that is ready to feel relief, that is ready to reach out. And even though it's hard, and even though I've struggled to do it in the past, deep breath, I'm choosing to reach out now. Side of the wrist. Reaching out to the part of me that wants to live. I'm reaching out to the part of me that has been fighting to survive. The survivor in me who is fighting even harder now. And I'm encouraging that part of me. And I'm sending gratitude and strength. And I'm asking for that part of me to be supported. And whatever belief I have in a higher power, I'm calling on that higher power now to connect that part of me that really, really wants to live, that has been the part of me that's gotten me out of bed, that's gotten me through those really dark and challenging moments, those darkest and most challenging moments. The part of me that hasn't gone numb, the part of me that is still able to feel love, even if it's faint. Deep breath. Side of the thumb. I'm open to the possibility that even if that part of me feels small and overwhelmed and can barely even remember what love feels like, or even feels like I can't feel love at all, I'm reaching out to whatever I've ever known as love, as the source of love, as the source of life, to help me now. And I'm also choosing to help myself now. Deep breath. And I'm open to the possibility of reaching out, even if my mind is telling me that's probably not going to help, and it might even hurt. Deep breath. I'm open to just giving it a chance. Middle finger. And I'm choosing to remember that especially now, there are a lot of anonymous hotlines, even especially and exclusively for doctors who are struggling. So I'm making a commitment to myself to, even if I'm feeling shy and scared and doubtful, I'm allowing myself to be curious and encouraging myself and giving myself permission to reach out and just call those hotlines, even if out of curiosity. Because after all, it is anonymous. And, you know, it might actually get me on a better path. Deep breath. So even though I'm struggling and reaching out for help is not something that feels natural or comfortable, I'm choosing to reach out now, because I am worth it. My life is worth it. The part of me that has already struggled, the part of me that has already and who is currently suffering, the part of me that is suffering greatly right now, deserves this. So I'm choosing to do this for me. I'm choosing to do this for the people that I love or have loved in the past, whether they're still here or not, whether they've passed on or not. I'm choosing to do this in honor of myself and in honor of anyone or thing or being or animal that I've ever loved. And I'm inviting myself to feel that love now and to reach out in honor of that love, to amplify that love. Deep breath. Top of the head. I can do this. I've done much harder things in the past. I can do this. And I'm open to the possibility that things might get better. And I'm choosing to explore that possibility now. Deep breath. Let's tap all over our bodies. Thank you so much for doing this with me. If you need help, please reach out to me on my website, medicinewheel.org, and I would be honored to just be there and listen. And if that's all you need, then great. And if you want someone to help brainstorm, I'd be happy to do and honored to do that too. Yeah, I love you. Thank you.